In this video, we're going to cover some special symbols, some operation symbols, and their meanings. The first, we have this table of relational operators, and it's an obvious list. You know, is a number greater than something else? Is a variable less than some number? That kind of thing. That's what relational means in this context. And so there's greater than and less than, and greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to, and the order matters. You have to say greater than or equal to. You can't say equal to or greater than. You have to do it the other way. You have to do it that order. And then you have exclamation point equal sign, which is the relational question: is this number not equal to something? So exclamation point equal sign means not equal to. The relational operator for is equal to is double equal sign, not single equal sign. So single equal sign is set a variable equal to a number, right? So I'm showing this in a while loop. A while loop, we're going to learn in this series, is just while a certain condition is true, keep going on. So while I is equal to 7, keep going through this loop until I is no longer equal to 7. This is what in this fake code I just made would do. But if you do the I single equals 7, that's not a relational question. A relational operator is saying, is I equal to 7? That's the assignment operator. That's setting I equal to 7. And as long as I can be set equal to 7, if it's a variable that can be set equal to 7, that statement's always going to be true. It's never going to be false. Even if in somewhere else you set I equal to 8, it will never get out of that loop. It's always going to be true. So the right way to do it is to say, is I equal to 7? Is I double equal sign 7? There's also, you can combine logical or relational operators with ands and ors, and you have to use 2 ampersands for and the or is 2 vertical lines. It's usually in the top right of your keyboard there, above return, right? So the vertical line, just 2 of those means or, 2 ampersands means and. Now, a lot of these characters mean other things as well. The equal sign means something, single equal sign means something. And so the single and means something else. Lots of them mean other things. And so it really is it's a point of learning all the different potential meanings of all these characters to get more and more sophisticated about programming. The point to make here is when you're talking about logical or relational operations, asking a question if something's equal to, greater than, etc., and coming up with multiple versions of them with ands and ors, you have to use these relational operators. The table for math operators is pretty small in C. You just have plus, minus, times is the asterisk, right? And divide is the /. There's another one, the percent can be used as this thing called modulo, which takes the remainder. You'd have 2 inputs. It gives you the remainder of the first one divided by the second one. We're going to do that in a bit. We haven't used it there. That's not super important. The main argument here, the first argument to make is that star also means something else. And so, you know, in our programming class, we use the / and other things as well. So, you know, symbols can have other meanings as well. So it's important to learn what multiple meanings are and make sure that these characters, when used in a math operation, are used in their specific context correctly. That's an important point to make. The last thing to note about math operators is there aren't that many of them. There's no power. In a lot of things you use the caret symbol to say if you want to square something. They don't have that in C. It's a function. It's a function called pal. We're going to learn how to use it in C. So the main thing to point about math operations is there's not a big number. The second thing to talk about is precedence, P-R-E-C-E-D-E-N-C. And so, yeah, there is a precedence to all these different operations, which one does first, left to right, multiplication first, all that stuff. It's just like calculators, just like your calculators have precedence and things like that. My old guy advice to you on programming is never allow it to use precedence. Always force the precedence with parentheses, right? It's important to do to make operations clear to other users by adding parentheses. What exactly are you trying to do? It has nothing to do with the C code. The C code will do it. We can use precedence and use it efficiently and all that stuff without all the extra parentheses. But the parentheses are for human beings. You want to force precedence. There's all these TikToks that have, oh, what's the answer? Is the answer 16 or 4 or what? Because it involves what precedence for each thing happens. I hate those because it doesn't matter. I mean, it depends on which precedence for which type of system you have, and there's all sorts of different things. So don't ever let that dictate how your code works. Always force the precedence with parentheses and use multiple sets of parentheses to make that happen. Same with logical operators too. The liberal use of parentheses makes things really clear for other users. That's it. Those are the different operations that are very common in C.